October. Okay, Libra. So I thought I would just do random decks and kind of look for some repeating messages. I did see a few of those repeating messages as I was pulling the cards. But right now, we're just going to get right into it. So first off, we're moving into Halloween seasons. Thing is kind of exciting right now. This is a really spiritual time. Of course, there'll be portals opening. There'll be lots of changes. So, but I see like coming in the more immediate is we're going to start off with the Magician here. So this is where I think I see things at. Sorry, I'm just pulling aside some of the other cards here to bring us in a little bit closer. Okay, so what I'm looking at, sorry guys, one more second, just trying to adjust this. Hopefully that's not too dizzying. All right, so what I'm seeing here is with the Magician card, we are starting out the month with you trying to manifest something. Clearly something is on your mind here that you're trying to make big changes around. The Magician energy, of course, is that energy where whatever it is that you are clearly focused on here, this is where you're starting to implement more time and attention and focus on it. So the Magician has the power to really transform our lives, and it definitely is that energy of bringing a wish, forward, or at least bringing it into this where you can actually act on it. It does have all the tricks and the tools of the trade to make something happen. So the Magician, takes the time to pattern things out, takes the time to construct things, takes the time to bring in the knowledge required to make something occur. So it's really a brilliant card. But it's you having to amalgamate all of those skill sets to really have something manifest. So again, the Magician is, something is going on behind the scenes here, but you're still developing, a certain level of mastery in amalgamizing everything, putting everything together and able to elevate it. So just remember, this is the power to turn things around, making dreams into reality, all of that, whatever is important to you at this time. This is where you're starting to, use all the aspects of your intuition, really, again, amalgamizing, all of the things, your tools, the four, the wind, the water, the air, the mindset, the pentacles, the grounding energies, all of that, you're bringing that into a space where you're actually able to, invent solutions and start to put some sense of deeper order into things. So I feel like this, in the month of October, you're really focused on making something happen or making something take off. You're really going to put some more time and energy, and confidence and determination behind it and able to really see it through. Because this is the alchemist. This is, hello, Devansha. But this is the alchemist. So this is where you're really, again, trying to amalgamate everything to really make something turn into what it is that you're a successful strategy to get to what you're looking for, what you're hoping for. So as far as even a skill set, that could be also using your skill set in a new way. But usually I'll see and all the rest of those things out there with some of that, but we'll kind of go through it and see what's kind of coming in. So again, I pulled them a little bit faster, so I'm not really sure. It's not really quite at the top of my head what I pulled here. So, oh, I'm glad to like these cards too. And hello, Tara. So anyway, this one, again, the Magician, you were in that space of trying to really make something happen. And again, I feel like you're trying to incorporate all of that to um, really make it come up to, really make it create. You're trying to really find a way to create it now. Okay, so moving on into the next card with the Magician is the Ace of Pentacles. So this is that card of new start, new beginning, something that's very grounded, new money. It's everything with an ace is all about something new. So this could be a new idea or something around a money-making strategy. This is a potential for making money in whatever this is, but it's still at the early stages. But it is a promise that whatever it is that you're doing here is actually going to be something that's advantageous to you. The Ace of Pentacles is also that card of, again, new business, new financial opportunity, anything that's going to help you to launch something and really bring it, closer to a payoff. But this is a period where I feel like you're starting to, there might be a little bit of money coming in here. For some of you, this might look like, Oh, and thank you for the donation, Devansha. Sorry, I'm just going to adjust the... There we go. Thank you. So yeah, so what it's going to do is it's really going to bring in some sense of newness, you know, and again, it's something to do with money, something to do with personal satisfaction, something to do with a grounded nature. So it's going in your world in a physical way. So there is something here that's going to show up in the middle, in of October. I don't know why I said the middle. Maybe it is the middle, but it could be something here, like I said, that's going to monetarily show up in the month of October. Some money, but still significant enough that it's making some kind of an impact here in the read. So for some of you, this might be a new job. And if it is a new job, it would be a job that's actually doing more along the lines of just bringing in the cash. I don't think it's necessarily something that you absolutely love to do, but but it definitely speaks to something here showing up that is going to help you to find a solution to a bit of a problem here as well. But it's also helping to, you know, build up a career or build up your foundation, build up something here that gives you a feeling of a little more long-term security as well. Because this is that's going to work further out. And I definitely feel like this is that energy. Again, it helps to ground you as well. I feel like it also benefits you on a spiritual level because this is also in coordination with that magician. It's the power to really manifest your plan, your idea, and really make something happen here. So, like I said, this is a really powerful combination, and I definitely feel like you have something here that's of merit, something here that's going to really, even though it's still in the beginning stages of things. So guys, I'm going to have to drink the coffee. My throat always seems to act up a little bit here when I start talking. Anyway, okay. But yeah, I think this is a really good combination, like I said, because it's in that space manifesting the new start, manifesting the new thing here. There's something about this new situation that's going to really help to bring in a lot more money. Okay, 1 second. Gotta drink the coffee. Either way, it's like carefully doing something, you know, carefully moving ahead in some way. And I would definitely say it's like the opportunity is here. It's presenting itself in some way. Because that Ace of Pentacles does indicate that, you know, there's something here that has a real sense of there's more progress, but there's an idea with the progress. So how do I put that? Like it feels like you get some kind of idea that helps you to root what it is that's going on spiritually or alchemizing in your mindset. It's like something really comes in to kind of solidify the idea that, oh my God, that's amazing. Like this is, you know, something here that I never even considered that's really going to make a difference. So Ace of Pentacles is really manifesting the power that goes, you know, that puts, that is put behind the magician. So really that energy of making this new beginning, you know, have some real potential. So like I said, there's success with whatever this new venture is. There is definitely some kind of new beginning, but I definitely feel like it's like abundant in some way. So it's going to allow you to take that first step and connect with your manifestation, with the things, the new ideas and the plans and the things that you're kind of creating, like the bedrock, the foundation. Like I said, it's whatever you're trying to there, you actually have a little bit of success with this new idea. Like it's a really good resource. So it's a really good material or really good something that's going to allow for some progress to be made in that realm. So really good energy there, guys. Okay. So now, let's see here. Now we're getting into the wands. And for sure, you can ask a question. I'm just going to leave it to the end. Otherwise, I guess some people found it confusing and they didn't know if it was your read or their read. So that's why I'm trying to keep it separate from what I see here. So not to worry, but we will get there for sure. So the Three of Wands, that's something advancing forward, but it also is a card of a bit of a delay. So nothing is jumping leaps and bounds, but it definitely is further along than it was before. So I would say that this is, you're closer to the arrival of this opportunity than you think you are, because there's a lot more energy behind the manifestation. So there's more of a positive change. There's more movement. There's like a taste of the idea or something that's going to really bring it forward. So I definitely feel like you have, something here that is going to be quite incredible here in the future. But definitely good moves. So now we're into, and again, Three of Wands, still, a little bit of a delay, or it's happening a little bit further out, but you've already shown that there is some investment in what it is that you're putting in action. So you're actually busy taking the steps here. And then it helps to clear the energy so that you can actually, bring out what you want to see here. So this is very close to the horizon. Like, this is where you can almost see where you're to this space. You're almost there. You are still growing it. There's still progress. There is the promise of a reward here, because you are still very much aligned and connected with your goals. So keep your eye on the prize is really what that speaks to. And I feel like you can feel it. It's not something that is so far out that, it doesn't feel like there's any sense of connection to it. I feel like you feel it. So then we also have the, it's on your mind, sure, in the month of October, and there is, that ultimate blessing going to be coming in. Now, the Two of Swords, that one, I don't feel is necessarily twos. Like I said, twos are all about kind of creating balance or a partnership or something here that, you're really in that space of a decision that has to be made, is what I would say next to that Three of Wands. So it's almost like a decision needs to be made. Something needs to take place first before it actually kind of jumps leaps and bounds ahead here. But I definitely feel like there is still a little bit of a period of waiting before something culminates here. But I do feel like it is still going to balance everything out, because the Two of Swords still indicates, with the Three of Wands, like I said, it's still a little bit of a distance here, whatever this is. I definitely feel like you're in that space of almost there. So again, I just want to see what the card below it was. Yeah, that's you. So it's you who has to make the decision. It's not something that's external to you. So I feel like you are in a space of, you're not procrastinating, you're taking action, you're not immobilized, even with this Two of Swords. It's almost like you're taking a time out. You're taking a time out to kind of weigh your options and protect your energy and create boundaries, and before you make any moves. It's that kind of energy. So I feel like you really are in a good headspace here. So, like I said, I definitely feel like you just have to wait this out a little bit longer here. I feel like for some of you, this could be being caught in the middle of a negotiation of some sort. This can be also because it's right next to, the Queen of Swords. So this could be a little bit of a negotiation or some kind of choosing of some sort. But I feel like it's more of a contemplative space, but not because you're immobilized by your fear. Nothing like that. Like I said, it feels like you're creating boundaries, you're protecting your energy. You can see where things are headed, and I feel like you're just taking a little bit of a break to kind of figure things out. Yeah, like you were in really good energy there for for things to really promise something here. So this is in the short term sort of energy here as well. And again, you're all in different timelines. I know some of you are maybe new to the channel. So when you're all in different timelines, you're not all making a decision on a Saturday. Some of you, it might be a Monday. You know what I mean? Like, so take it as it resonates. Some of you, the energy might be a little further out into October, but either way, I just feel like you're tapping into an area of your life where things are starting to really change. Again, with that Magician energy, like I said, it still feels like the transition is one of, just because it was next to the Ace of Pentacles, that transition is going to be a really lucrative sort of space. And I feel like you will have a really good sense of control over whatever that life-changing amount of money is. And like I said, it's still at the beginning stage of it, where it really has to be fleshed out, but you're headed in the right direction. Okay. So I feel like, again, a little bit of money might be coming through in the month of October. Definitely still feels very positive. There might be some blocked emotions here, though, again, because we do have you next to the Two of Swords. So there could be a little bit of blocked emotions here. That's also kind of speaking to, I don't really feel like it's fear and uncertainty about a direction that you're headed because you can see the direction. But I do feel like the other part of it would be more along the lines of feeling a little bit tense or blocked. I don't know why the blockage around the emotional aspects when you do see the future here, but there is that energy there. So again, I feel like you might be trying to regain some balance in that area as well. Okay, so the Queen of Swords definitely still speaks to, I feel like it's you coming out in the reading here. It definitely has that energy of being clear cut about the way that you communicate. Feel like you're in that contemplative space, like you were in that space where you really want to consider all your options, is what I would say there. And because you are space of pulling back a little bit, but very independent in this period. I feel like you're like I said, you've got clear boundaries and that kind of thing that's showing up here. So I just feel like it's you trying to uh, be in that space of understanding your own abilities. It's kind of a warrior quality, but you're supportive to yourself, you're protective of yourself, you're independent, you've got a lot of strong values and ideas, but you're those values and ideas, you're not being influenced at this time. Aquarius, Libra, Gemini also showing up here, but again, very strong, self-reliant kind of energy. And I feel like you're in a space of problem solving. I do feel like it's still in that range of kind of I don't want to, well, it doesn't have to be necessarily blocked emotions, but certainly, putting some rules around how you communicate. Very intelligent energy. So, again, very reliable to oneself and might be a little bit secretive here because of that closure around the feelings. But either way, I still feel like you're really in a good space of trying to figure things out. So again, just keep moving forward there. But I would say overall, truth is very strong and very important in this period for you. Like I said, even with that magician and that ace of pentacles, it's bringing dreams to life. It's, the promise of abundance, wealth, stability, security, all of that. And there were other cards that I pulled out that also fell into that same range. So I feel like you have the ability to create stability for yourself through that hard work because it's very grounded energy. A lot of dedication here that's going to be required, but you have the skill, you have the talent with those combinations. And again, it's also manifesting new jobs for those that want it, or an extended job to one that you might already be doing. But it's some kind of new, grounded, focused goal or monetary situation that's going to lead to, personal success here. But you have the right mindset, is what I would say here. And you do have action to create. You've got a deep desire for what you want. And like I said, the Queen is more of a receptive energy, so it's taking things in versus externally putting it out there. So I feel like you are in that energy of taking things in and kind of building things up internally. And it's also speaking to kind of a professional sort of atmosphere here around the Queen. There's also very strong energy around the Four of Wands here. So in other words, what I would say is like you're really directing your energy very strongly focused on something. It doesn't have to be being a professional, but really focus strongly on something that you want around your finances that's going to create more stability here. And when we've got the Four of Wands here, this is stability coming in for you. Um, whatever the idea is, it is going to create a sense of profit or gain, and to help you feel grounded, more connected to your relationships. There's a certain level of happiness that helps you to move forward in this period in October. You feel happier around the home front in some way, even though there's a certain element of blocked emotions. It's like kind of a duality, is what I would say there. Because in one sense, emotionally, I feel like you're kind of closed off, or keeping more to yourself with that energy. But then with the Four of Wands here, there's also a certain level of celebration or you know, a certain sense of peace. But there's also a sense of something with the water sign is also coming through here too, card that follows. But I feel like it's an important milestone that internally you're sort of dealing with in the month of October. I feel like you're almost trying to get back to a certain part. Sorry, guys, got to drink the coffee. So it's almost like there's a certain part of you that needs to kind of get back to peace, laughter, something lighter, something safer, something a little bit more carefree. Like there's something here that I feel you're going to be finding. But again, it's like you almost have to get the right mindset. You almost have to sort of self-correct, because there's almost an energy of like almost an energy of just being, like I said, you're emotionally closed off from something that I'm not really quite sure there yet. So I'm just trying to get a feel of it. But like I said, but the Four of Wands in itself is a really, it does seem to be happening around the home front. That seems to be the focus, but I definitely feel like you are still going in the right direction. Everything is moving in the right direction. So King of Cups here with the Four of Wands, that is also that energy of, could be a water sign, like I say, that's coming through here, but this is somebody who's a little bit more on top of things emotionally. So maybe what you're going from is the emotional space into this more opening, less limited space where you're actually growing and there's progression and there's a release of tension and stress, because that to me could also signify there. But I feel like you're almost in more of a warm or caring sort of space in the month of October, because there's more of a compassionate kind of quality that goes with that. So I feel like emotionally there's more stability, you know. So you're going from a place where things kind of, you're still closed off and blocked, but you're starting to open that up a little bit here. And again, could be also with another person or somebody that you represents family to you or close connection. That could be someone else here where you're starting to feel like there's more of a positive achievement or more encouraging sign with that connection. So it could also be that for others of you. But either way, it's more of a peaceful kind of coexistence where there's a little bit more mutual respect in around the home front or in around this connection. Now, I would also say, because the King of Cups shows up here as being in control of one's emotions, again, it still kind of correlates with the other cards there that you're in that space. So for some of you, you might be connecting with somebody who's a counselor, psychologist, or spiritual, or something dealing with the self, nurturing home and family, and the things that are important to you. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio is represented here. But again, I still feel like this is that space of kind of trying to gain some mastery over your own emotions. But again, there's another person here I feel that somehow is influencing this read, and it does feel like this is where there is going to be some kind of improvement where there has been some difficulty. The advice for sure would, you know, be, I mean, although I don't see any cards of, you know, emotional disruptive energy here, it seems to be positive, close to home, you know, intuitive, that kind of thing, and really dealing with your deep inspirations and your dreams. So either way, kind of in control of your emotions. Now, the Ten of Swords. So even though I see something here around the family member, again, as I mentioned, the Pisces Scorpio, there could also have been some difficulty with that Ten of Swords energy. So I feel like there is a sense that that feeling or that connection may have ended, and it would have been kind of a forced change or some kind of, you know, final resolution, you know, made you feel like you were giving up quite a bit. And it's almost a certain sense of relief in some way that you are accepting that inevitability and things are moving on. So there is something here, again, it could be a betrayal, where things didn't go right. You know, you actually felt that something that you were on was very disappointing to you. But again, this is at a 10. So it's almost as though you're again in that space of kind of dealing with the suffering, dealing with the things that were unbalanced around that connection. But again, there's still something that's more positive up ahead here that helps you to feel like you've survived it and it was less of a disaster. Even though in the moment it feels like a disaster, it feels like something was quite, difficult to deal with. So, Ten of Swords, like I said, it was that sense of betrayal or that sense of some kind of an abrupt ending and a disconnection, feeling like you were stabbed in the back, all of that energy here. So, you're still in a space of healing, is what I would say there. Healing the inner child, healing the pain, healing the wounds. It's all of that. So, there's something here about a place of recovery. But you are recovering for sure because there's some definite. Sorry guys, my phone, it when I get an incoming call, it goes silent, so I just had to click off that call there for a minute. But either way, I feel like you're spending some time here deep in your own thoughts. And I definitely feel like you're sort of in that space of focusing on your own goals at this time and kind of giving back to yourself right now. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear that vehicle outside. If you can't hear me, I'll try to repeat myself. Sorry, guys. The slowest moving vehicle ever. Okay, anyway, so now we're into the hangman space. So the hangman is, again, where you felt there was, with this water sign, there was a definite disconnect. Something ended abruptly, but now it's in this space of being in limbo. So it's like a pause. And again, part of the pause is because you're letting go of something here, of an outcome perhaps that you had in your head, but you're in that space of kind of altering your mindset. So this, where you've had to sort of sacrifice something and able to kind of move forward here. But it's definitely, telling you you're not in a space to rush through whatever. Sorry, guys, the call is persistent and won't give up. Anyway, right. I will continue on. But anyway, so the hangman here, again, energy of trying to reframe something. So again, you might be feeling a little bit stuck. Again, we've got the Two of Swords, Ten of Swords, hangman. So there is that energy where you're trying to work through something, change your perspective, and kind of adapt to a situation, whether it's a new sort of scenario for you in some way around home front, but it's definitely some kind of space where you're pausing and trying to sort of gain that gain through the uncomfortable interruption. Trying to mention that regarding my phone call. Regardless, get back to them later. Okay, so now we're on to the Ace of Cups. So this is definitely that new space. Again, you had the Ace of Pentacles, you've got the Ace of Cups. Now, the Ace of Cups is clarified more so with this connection. The Ace of Pentacles is more along the dream or goal front. This is definitely in that space of um, feeling as though you've got something, either you're becoming a lot more generous in love, somebody else is becoming a little bit more along the lines of, feeling deeper emotions, feeling newer emotions, feeling something that's going to be more positive in the connection. So this is going to allow you to open up more. So it goes from a space of being really disconnected and closed off. And this is further out. These are more clarifiers, but further out, you're going to see that it actually marks the time of more emotions flowing in. You've gained some level of wisdom in this connection. And so maybe you're dealing with it differently or better, or knowing what to say and what not to say. But something here kind of speaks to things and that feeling opening up. Um, in this connection. So I feel like you really are in a space, you're really in a space where things are going to, even though that you might be just in the energy of it, not seeing it fully flesh out yet. I definitely feel like there is more positive energy around that connection, especially water sign for many of you. It doesn't have to be exactly water sign. Sometimes people take on the characteristics of that, as they move through things. Sometimes we're more fiery and angry, and other times we may be more, wise and laid back. But either way, this person represents in energy where there is a lot more. There's a lot more happening behind the scenes, I would say there, because two aces does indicate there's some kind of financial income, there's some kind of small investment, there's something here about well, spending your money well, doing things in the right way. Even in terms of a relationships, it's around um, something you might purchase for somebody else, but it's also in around that luck. You know, it's ran around luck with the connection because there's more of a free flowing release of emotional energy here. So, like I said, something more positive that is going to be like a wave of, I don't want to say love necessarily, but there's an offer on the table here for someone that's going to reach out and say, hey, because it's creating justice, it's creating balance. The card of justice, of course, is the big one, but it's not the main energy that's out here. Most of this is kind of working behind the scenes energy for you in this month, but it's a rebalancing that's taking place here in around your finances, in around your emotions. This is strong Libra energy, especially with the Queen of Swords and the Justice coming here. And I just feel like your decisions are all based on facts, especially with those two, that combination. Whatever decisions that you make, you're impartial, you're objective, it's being attached, it's being more compromising. And it's definitely great for new connections or new offer of, dear God. Sorry, got the cards that I'm reading here. I keep getting interrupted with my call. But nonetheless, either way, I just feel like there's more of a compromise here and you're doing it. You're the one that's doing all of this. You're making the decisions. You're balancing the books. You're really taking a hard look at yourself, your life, especially around your emotional front and your finances. That seems to be the highlight. But you're really bringing things back into balance. You're rearranging your priorities with this card and definitely in a good space, I would say. Um, like overall, I feel like if there was a job that's coming in here, there are two job opportunities, one that would be more a job that you'd really enjoy to do, and the other one is putting the hard work behind something. But I still feel like financial increase is coming in here. Um, Sorry, guys. I am apparently extremely popular today. I get too many people calling today. But yeah, anyway, so I just feel like, so it interrupted again, so apologies. But anyway, just wanted to say here, overall, it just feels like you're in a transition. You definitely have some levels of frustration that you're working through, but I feel like recognizing your opportunities here, and I feel like you've got a couple of things that are sort of in the mix that are helping you to adjust your point of view. I feel like you are not in a standstill position. I feel like you're really working through your priorities in this space. So you're really clarifying what it is that you want to do and what you believe. You're not feeling trapped. It's more of a reorganization of forcing you to kind of look at the things in your life that you can make um, more of a positive. You're shifting your perspective because you are allowing yourself to grow here, is what I want to say. So again, really good energy here. It just seems like you're in a really deep space of figuring some aspects of your life out. But and the Hangman is just a bit of a pause to help you kind of release things. But you are doing that because you have two very positive cards about reframing the situation and allowing things to kind of open up. So it's creating a strategy with cards. We're almost there. Okay, now in terms of a relationship, there is something here around the devil energy. Now, whoever this devil energy is for you, um, I would say that this is, uh, I would say this is that energy of trying to figure out something with, um, could be representing Cancer, or sorry, not, well, it could be the Cancer that came in there, the Cancer Scorpio water sign, or this could be something altogether, another energy here. But either way, I just feel like with the devil, this is where because you're following up the fire as the King of Swords. So you do have the upper hand. It is a king. So I do feel like you've got the upper hand over whatever this energy is. But this would be that dysfunctional connection. This would be that connection where things are not balanced. But because you're in the King of Swords energy, clarifying it, I feel like you still have some healthy boundaries going on here with this connection, or again, um, whatever the devil represents for you. And again, it could be just toxicities or any overindulgences or bad habit, whatever. But whatever that is for you, that's your main emphasis, your main toxicity that affects your life in the month of October, you have the control over it. Um, and this could also represent someone who is also a control freak, but I would say that this is still that energy of, really having a powerful take charge of your own, well, toxicity, whatever that is, again, whatever that is for you, whatever your overindulgences are, whatever your unhealthy boundaries are, or whatever your addictions are, whatever the thing is that helps you to feel bound or feeling suffocated by it in some way. So that is the thing that you seem to have more control over in this period. Because, like I said, the King of Swords is an energy of I'm powerful, I'm connected, I think critically about whatever it is that I do. I make decisions that are wise. So it's Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy there, of course. And it's definitely dealing with legalities around someone, or that could also, be an influence here. But again, it ends up a more of a fair, logical, balanced decision-making situation. So if there is a court battle or anything dealing with court situations or contracts, it's in your favor, and you do have more of an ethical mindset about something, like you actually gain from it because there's an ethical decision that helps you to sort of keep the influence that are around you, again, whatever the toxicity, keeping it balanced so that you actually gain from it. So whatever the outside influences are, whatever this relationship is, or whatever this toxicity is, you have the upper hand, and I feel like you're not reacting emotionally around it. So this is not a blockage for you. This is actually a really good card of keeping things in check. There's boundaries there, and again, coming out with the King of Swords, that is definitely knowing how to handle the situation with impartiality, but also with a sense of uh, researching something or studying it beforehand. You might be making a study of someone or something as well, but either way, it's definitely dealing with sort of the darker aspects or of human nature or of self, right? So, and whatever that is, just know that you are not going to be impulsive. You actually have the emotional control. You actually have the upper hand in the situation. So again, I just feel like there is, wherever the lack of control or negative energy or a blockage or feeling of that as the dominating energy, you turn it around and you're making this more of a positive. So you're actually turning it into something that is not complex, not challenging. Hi, Devancha, I was just reading what you said there. Yeah, I will definitely get to that. We're almost there. But either way, I feel like this is a deeply, introspective month for you. Self-reflection, introspection. I feel like you're breaking free from those negative, toxic behaviors or patterns or blockages. That's what's going on there. Okay, just two more cards on this, and then I just wanted to read from a different deck real quick. Okay, so the Page of Cups, there's some kind of a communication or news that's going to be coming in here. I do feel like that Page of Wands or Page of Cups energy could be dealing with a younger person here as well, hearing from someone. One that, maybe is at a distance, or where there was a situation where something was over. It could be an apology that's coming through here as well. Because it is followed up by the World card. But either way, I just feel like there's going to be some good information that's coming in here that's something that you want to hear about. And again, I just feel with the World card, it's like it almost completes a cycle and helps things to wrap it up, or helps things to feel like it's a new chapter. It's kind of that invitation to a significant change that's taken place. It's more of you have a deeper understanding of that. And I feel like there is also that energy around you where there's more emotional depth. And that's allowing you to feel a little bit more playful, a little bit more creative, a little bit more able to express yourself in this period and reconnect with your creative energy. So I feel like you're exploring some of those inner parts of yourself as well. But again, there could be, this is new information or some kind of new emotional connection. But there's something new that's coming in here as well, for sure. Again, it could be an apology if you're dealing with Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. That's very relevant here. Lots of water sign energy. But I definitely feel like this is more points of power in this period. I feel like you are getting a bit of a break, like I said, listening to your intuition, all of that kind of energy here. But I definitely feel like the Page of Cups tells me that there is something here that has concluded in, and there's more of a positive on the outside of this. So if something was more negative before, I feel like you're starting to see the positives in the situation on an emotional level. But either way, I just feel like this is really good energy. Could be news come here too around something that's conclusive with the world energy. Some kind of big shift or change or something here. But the world card, like I said, is because it's so much energy around deep introspection. And again, this could be somebody a bit of a distance here, younger person as well. But I feel like it's still a beneficial communication of some sort. And even still, the world card is the card of self-actualization. So it's like lessons are learned, especially with the hermit energy in here too, and you're transferring this into a new space. And I feel like so is this younger person with the page energy. It's like lessons are being learned, and it's almost like there is more. It's like little peak experiences are starting to come through, like little triumphs. Something here has been accomplished. But I definitely feel like you can expect a lot more new things coming in October. There's a lot of new things coming in October. And I don't even know if you're aware of the full energy of it yet, but there's lots of really good energy here about harmonizing and finding a balance and better relationship connections, but mostly it's deep connections with you. So it's like you're finding deeper meaning in the things that have changed around you. They're no longer obstacles because there's a certain level of acceptance or connection. Last card out here. Okay, so again, I feel like Seven of Cups, whatever the confusion was in this period or that you have been dealing with, that Seven of Cups energy does speak to having a lot more options available to you. And of course, you're in a space of trying to find some order in all of that. So whatever was confusing for you before emotionally, it seemed to have impacted you. I feel like that's about to change because you do have that sense of really becoming clear what it is that, makes you happy, or seeing a situation for what it really is. You're not deceived. There is a change that is, taking place, but you're dealing with it by trusting your instincts and all of those things. So, like I said, you're really in a good space here. And even though you may not fully be aware of it, and I say that because when a person's really in a deep space emotionally and they're trying to figure something out, sometimes it's really hard to feel like you're making headway in something because you're still in it. But like I said, I mean, that energy of Chariot and Seven of Cups is still breaking through the illusions. You have a direction. It's strongly available here for you, and it feels like you're on this drive to focus on what's really important now. So it's almost like you've narrowed down the focus. You've narrowed down the choices. You've really made some important decisions here to be much more determined, make wiser choices. There's a huge amount of energy probably by the end of the month where you're going to feel like you are no longer distracted, you are on track, and you are going where you need to go. You're very determined to get rid of the distractions and avoid any kind of temptations and whatever, because you're really defining your purpose with this card. There's a strong clarity that's coming through with that Chariot energy. Like I said, you have a lot of options here that you've been considering or mulling over, not really sure which direction, but you're in this space of, I'm in control of my destiny. I'm going to make something happen. So again, it's more the clarifier further out, but you are just on the precipice of all of that energy kind of manifesting. You're already in it, It's just a matter of degree. So, you might be a lot stronger toward the end of the month and into the month of November with this energy. But either way, it's a take charge kind of energy. It's not, it's like you've narrowed down the choices. You really know what you want now, and you're just going to go for it. So, really strong moves, I would say, in the month of October. Really big decisions that you're making to get yourself further ahead. Again, Chariot is still the cat sign, the water sign coming through here, but it's, really making good choices and being, what's the word? Quality control. Because it's really you starting to progress up the ladder. It's you needed the time away there, but now you're in this space toward the end of October, I would say, where you're feeling a lot more disciplined, sheer willpower, gonna go for it. There could be even a journey that you're not really sure you want to take with something, that you're kind of back and forth, and it could be by car. But I definitely feel like you're creating your destiny now. There's a lot more invested in uh, your career path, or where things are going to take a more positive turn, but you're taking control of that destiny. So again, really strong, powerful energy here, purposeful action. Everything that you do, I feel, is going to have much more purpose driven action, enable for you to achieve your goals. And that's helping you to achieve the balance. Okay, I'm just going to read these last ones out here, because that was the tarot. And we also have, okay, so this is a different deck, new deck for me that I haven't used for a while, so I'm going to refer to the book on this one, but it's called The Astrology Reading Cards by Alison Chester Lambert, and illustrations by Richard Crook. So the 12th house, this is the area of your life that is overwhelming. You yield to a greater cause of power. Okay, so I'm just going to get right to it. I just got to find this one, guys. Sorry, because I don't use this one, tend not to, although I like it. Okay, so the 10th house is also kind of, 12th house. Guess I could stay on the right card. House is about finding compassion and love for yourself. So it's all about spiritually transcending whatever was putting you in. This feels like external forces putting you into weaker spots, is now going to be putting you into a more powerful position. So this is where the card sort of describes it as an area of your life that is known for removing your will because something much bigger and more forceful is taking over. So it looks like there's something here that's going to, where you're giving yourself up to a higher cause. You're in a position right now, spiritually, healing, or you might have a healing encounter as well, that's going to help you to, and again, this can be through meditation or any kind of other connection there, but either way, it's something that's to make a serious but wise decision later, not right now. Because you might not see all of it's almost like the moon card. It's like you're not seeing quite all the facts yet, but you do have compassion for others, and there's still a lot of energy around, maybe volunteering or doing something in a selfless way with that card. It also represents as an Aries, but there's something here around being compassionate due to an encounter or a connection with someone or something else in the month of October. Now, the card of Capricorn, this one is in around that energy of, let's get there. Okay, let's see. Sorry, guys, this one takes a couple of seconds because I don't usually deal with this one, but I wanted to try it today. Capricorn, the energy around you is serious, materialistic, hardworking, but shrewdness and cautious ambition. So this is about a great gift that's trying to get to you. So it's about trying to complete a project or succeed in a task. It encourages you to keep going forward, a lot of hard stamina, because it's going to be an achievement that occurs in the material world. You do have, it says, a rock steady energy that gives you tremendous success in this time. And this is a card that's known for being shrewd, but it's wise caution. So that might be something to consider there as well. But it's you're approaching everything in a serious way, but doing so in such a way that Capricorn never loses, basically, is what it says. It cannot be beaten. This is something that has to come to you. This is something that's going to be a part of you or a part of your future. It doesn't matter if it takes years and months or whatever. It's something that it's something destined for you. Because the Capricorn always triumphs. So it's a masterful sign, and it's known for its achievements, and it doesn't miss a single step until it's there. So if you're facing a situation that requires authority, you will have it. Whatever it is that you need, you'll have it, you will find it, and then you'll be able to give it. So this is, again, shrewd energy, but it is also making you aware of hidden agendas. So if there are people around you that have a hidden agenda, this is where you actually have to develop your own hidden agenda, and you can develop on your own. So, you're able to bring an ability to the forefront here. So it's like you adapt to the situation. So the card says if you are needing a mountain, you become the mountain climber. You're well equipped for whatever it is that you need to ascend. So all the tools are there, as the Master Magician came out in the other reading there. So, if a job is worth doing, it is worth doing well. I like that line. I don't know why I haven't heard that for a while. But there's no time for wasting your time, energy, or being frivolous. This is a road that can really make something out of nothing. It is something, it's not a meaningless card or a meaningless road. It's something and it has a purpose, and it needs to be fulfilled, is what that card speaks to. Card of Jupiter, we know that one is about luck. So Jupiter is all around that energy of kind of creating a more favorable space. Confidence, your courage, your belief, your luck is here. This is all about focusing all of those qualities, and it's potent. This is helping you to be activated, and it's also helping you to kind of tune into what it is that you need. Every time you need to move ahead or you come across a boundary or something, this is where you start to, you're not obsessed with any kind of anxiety and worrying, because you're now in a space where being obstructed. You're not being bound. It's almost like you see the fear and you show up anyway. It's that kind of energy. So it's like you're taking these huge leaps, in this new direction where things are quite and but it feels like a lucky streak has now been activated. So this is why the card, and this is why you can think in a richer way, in a more abundant way, because that's what's coming in here. It's going to be representing growth in many forms in the month of October and further out, because this is really big energy here. But it's having an understanding of, as the card puts it, spirit of the law and philosophy. So this is where you can challenge yourself and grow some of those beliefs, but you're involved on more of a higher education, exploration, or teaching. Okay, a couple of last final cards there. Scorpio energy here, and that is again still in the water sign energy. Let's just get to that one. I don't see it here yet. Hang tight, guys. Okay, Scorpio, your energy is intense, masterful, thoughtful, magnetically charming, secretive, and possessive. So this is that energy being a lot more charismatic and mysterious. It does feel like quieter energy, and I feel like you're coming off as very aloof, but it's because you're going through a huge transformation. Sorry, Devonta, I was just reading your thing about do I do our ancestors readings. I have actually never really explored that, but I should probably take into it. But yeah, so this one is definitely about a great transformation that's taking place in the month of October, and I feel like there's a certain amount of charm and magnetism that people are being drawn to you, because there's a certain level of exotic or mysticism around you that helps you to feel like you're healing and transforming. But I feel like that's also putting it out to others that there's almost like a real physicality or a sexual charm or something that they don't really know why they're attracted to you, but in some sort of way it's a huge force of love and power. But either way, Scorpio energy has the ability to penetrate deeply and bring things to the surface, is what the card says. So it's really about the pursuit of something that's honest, something that matters, and it's all about understanding the motives of others as well, because you see the masks, you see them with the masks off. So yeah, this is deep feelings, deep connection to something that you're doing. Oh, sorry. Card, and then we're done. Oh, two, sorry. Okay. Mars, your physical energy, drive, strength, and lightning spirit. So again, really big energy here about lots of drive and ambition and passion that's really showing up here. Very strong, motivating cards. Mars is the energy of taking charge of doing things and really making something happen leaps and bounds. So this is still that energy that you're in, which the tarot really kind of spoke to, because deep space of figuring things out. So, like I said, whatever the decisions are you're making in this month, it's like cutting to the chase. You are no longer taking on everything. You're focusing more so on what it is that matters to you. So you're focused on the part of you that will make the most difference in, and it's really where you're engaging in a question or an issue or a concern, and you're putting all your energy behind it there to really give you the drive to get done. So it's almost like a marathon. You're getting things done. You're in it to win it. It's, victory that will be yours. And if you feel threatened in some way and there's, some kind of a stress response, adrenaline, hormones, whatever, right. This is where this soldier prepares to battle. This is an athlete that prepares to win. So that's what you're doing. You're finding the strength, you're finding the stamina to overcome an obstacle and survive. You've survived an awful lot here. So this is really going to be anything that's incoming that's threatening on an ego basis, you can handle it. It's, being able to um, temper down anything that's unreasonable, anything that's trying to get in the way or dominate you. Have a fiery, competitive spirit that's starting to emerge here. And this determination to win and succeed is very, very strong in these cards in this period. Okay, so now we're on to the sixth house. So the work, the health, this is the duty, the area of your life. So again, this is really talking about putting in that time and energy into the things that matter to you, which is your wellness. Also being mindful of fitness. So really being aware of how much that you take in, really being aware of the body. You still find pleasure and fulfillment in tasks and things that you want to deal with in this period, but it's almost about, again, it's a good time to just be aware of your body's health and not to worry. It's just really a card of start to change things in that area because it's going to produce more energy for you. So yeah, that's what I've got there. And now we're going to answer some questions. Okay. All right. So Devansha. Okay. Let me just see what you've got there. So I'm on to you now, Devansha. Okay, what is your strength and what is your weaknesses? Okay, let me just find a different deck here. Okay, so what is Devansha's strength? Okay, well, even though I'm not going to take the card yet, but the Six of Cups did come out, which is kind of a giving and receive card. Somebody who's really generous, somebody who, operates with that give and takes mentality. But anyway, we'll just keep going. So what are Devansha's strengths and what are her weaknesses? What are her strengths and what are her weaknesses? Okay, maybe I'll do it this way here. These cards just kind of fell out. So what are the strengths and weaknesses for Devansha? These strengths are bouncing right out for you. What are the cards of strength and weakness for Devansha? What are the cards of strength and weakness for Devansha? Okay. I would say that okay, there's kind of a mixed bag here, and there's a lot of negative cards as well as some very positive ones. So what I would say here is that Okay, well, we'll start off with this one because anyway, so the Six of Wands, sixes are of course all about creating some balance here. So I feel like um, you have a way of kind of getting through, because the Six of Wands tells me that this is that energy of, conclusion and victory. I feel like you're somebody who knows how to complete things. Like, I don't feel like you stop and start and procrastinate and just leave everything hanging. I don't feel like that's the kind of person that you are. I feel like this is where you know how to move forward. I feel like that is your strength. I feel like you know how to play the game. That you knowing how to persist through something and really get it done. You know your worth. You know that you have something of value. You stand up for yourself. Like, you have that ability to complete something, to carry it through. Like I said, this is, you know that you have you know that you have a space to repeat something over and over again until you're done. Okay, and again, especially when it's coupled by the World card, that is also that same sort of energy. Knowing how to complete something, just you know how to get through something that is long term, because the World card is that energy of, I can complete something that is going to be, a long term commitment, because it's long term projects. Again, anything dealing with completing something. This is your strength. This is what you are designed for, I would say. You have that sense of being able to see a goal through, but also knowing what the goal is. So I feel like you are very clear cut. And so whenever you set your mind to something, you choose a goal and you just keep going until you see a measure of progress or whatever it is. When we get to the Eight of Cups, I do feel like you have a sense of being able to release things, because the eights are all about reevaluating, setting priorities, that kind of thing. So I feel like that is, a lot of your strength there as well. Again, even with the Eight of Cups, I feel like you know that, when something is worth it. And I feel like you're okay with letting things, when something isn't working, you're okay with not allowing it to affect other areas of your life that are important to you. I feel like you are okay heading off in a certain direction. Sometimes you might be a little overly emotionally, overextended in some way, because you do feel, I feel like that it does affect you to some extent. But I still feel like you're quite open, with a lot of things here. But either way, because there's other cards that kind of can here, that kind of speak to some heaviness around emotions. So I feel like that is where there's some difficulty for sure. Um, like I said, the swords is that energy of like, there's a sense of insecurity here for sure. And I definitely feel like you have um, an aspect of wanting to find deeper meaning in things. I feel like you want to connect things. You are probably somebody who kind of goes it alone, even on a spiritual level, that, but you know that there's levels of lack in your life where you feel that. And I feel like you're really trying to navigate through that and really find a deeper way with the issues. Because fives are all about having to shift something, having to adjust for something, how to make changes. But there's also, it's cards of uncertainty. So, like I said, I feel like you are oftentimes you're finding yourself in that space where you feel like you are in some way empty victories, or not winning something in the way that you want to, or that tactics might be used against you. Either way, it's kind of that energy of um, you deal with things and you solve your problems, and you know how to sort of escape from restrictions, but it's almost like you it's almost like, um because we've got two fives here, and this is jealousy, it's almost like you hold your own in situations where there is a lot of jealousy. So nobody's really stealing anything from you, because you have your own dominion. You're able to have more leverage in your corner. Let's put it that way. You know, something can't really be taken from you because you are willing to compromise. Whether that compromise actually comes through or not, that's another thing. But I do feel like there is elements of you not really getting maybe what you want out of something entirely. Like, you know how to bring about something for yourself because you are good with doing something over the long haul. You can really make a difference that way. But again, I feel like with secret competition, or, you know, whether maybe drifting away from a friend group or being excluded from projects or being excluded from things, you still weather through that competition. So people might be triggered by you, but I feel like you still show up for yourself, and that is your strength. The Magician card, you know how to manifest something. Again, you know how to bring something to fruition. You know how to make it happen. You have a certain level of understanding of your own strengths and weaknesses, and whether it's, you know, actually something that you understand on the conscious level, but on the unconscious level, your body knows that you will push through what you need to push through. Like, your body knows, your mind knows that to have faith, you know, it knows that everything is going to be okay on some level. So the Magician, like I said, is that energy of knowing what your own skill set is, you know, and being able to, you're aware that you can transform things. You're aware that you can translate something into action. You're aware that you have a level of deeper understanding, or you know that there is an order that you can create, or there's a solution that you can invent. Like, it's something like that, where you actually have a way of capturing what it is that you need to make something change in your favor. So you're not afraid to kind of reinvent yourself, is what I would say, and that's to your credit. The Three of Swords does indicate that there's definitely some conflicts and that kind of thing, and there's definitely some level of emptiness or sadness or something that that you kind of deal with. And it's almost like, you know, maybe you need to be okay with striking out on your own and separating your things for a while. It's almost like you need to grow a bit of a thicker skin for certain things, because this will pass. Like anything that's a Three of Swords, it's a minor arcana. So it means that, oh, your heart is broken. You feel that pain. You feel that separation. You feel, you know, whether this is in a relationship or you feel a certain separateness from something. But it, again, is the card of it will pass. The healing is here. You have your things that you actually have a strong ability to manifest. You don't seem to take maybe the same level of appreciation in, but you are actually a very productive person. You are someone who actually has the ability to make strong changes. When I see the Tower here, again, I feel like you let obstacles, like, you're sensitive to them, you're sensitive to those difficulties, but sorry, incoming call, so I had to let it peter out there for a minute. But I feel like despite the changes that come, you know, I feel like you are somebody that you let everything kind of impact you on an emotional level. But I still feel like you're quite strong. You know, you're quite strong on some level here, whether you know it or not. You, like, there's a really good, because if you're weathering this much pain and difficulty, even though you're letting it impact you and influence you and all of that, there's something at your core that really speaks to somebody who is caring, you know, and it's almost like, I feel like you, the pain and the, even though it's being brought on in negative ways, it gives you periods of enlightenment where you actually get a really strong understanding of things. So whether you're breaking yourself down in some way, there's something here that allows you to handle things, because, and it's big changes, but it's also, Yeah, it's also like you have a good sense of other people, and there's a wake-up call. Like you have, so even though some things are kind of surprising for you and kind of break you down, somehow you're able to adjust and transition and keep going because you're not afraid of the long-term investment of things, and that helps support your success with whatever it is that you do. So even when things sort of break apart and you feel like you have to let go of a situation, or there's a failure, or that there's sadness, you are somebody who really in the long term, and you're okay with that, and that helps you to bring you closer and closer to healing, closer and closer to your destiny, closer and closer to manifesting things that you want, because you're not afraid to wait. I was just going to read your other question there. Okay, spiritually, let's see. What are Devansha's spiritual gifts? 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 Why the Death card? Okay, well, again, 6 is about balance and harmony, facing changes, and triumph over a scenario. You're definitely, as far as a spiritual sort of gift, I would say it probably falls in around something here with, you're honest. I feel like you are someone who, kind of, you work from the inside out with the 6 of Pentacles. You know how to plan things and grow things. And I think that you are a powerful manifester as well, because it's a card of patience. And I say powerful manifester, meaning you can really put your time and energy into something and really make something happen. Not somebody who, you really know how to make something change. Not only it's coming up here in quite a few different ways here, because the Tower, big changes. You know how to make big changes. Or, and it would probably be, because spiritually, this is big transformations. This is knowing how to transform a relationship or transform a situation, really get to the true meaning of something. And you know how to really, like I said, really make the difficult decisions. I just feel like you are someone who undermines yourself and restricts yourself, but the pain and the suffering that you put yourself through is actually your power, because it helps you to see the truth in situations. Like, it helps you to understand things. I feel like you might bury some of your feelings a bit and go through a lot of anxiety with the 9 of Swords. But your real power spiritually is that you're a big manifester. You're somebody that can make big changes. And there's a car alarm going off out there, so we'll consider that a second confirmation. But like I said, I feel spiritually like you know how to really make a big difference in the lives of others, if not just yourself. But I definitely feel like you do it through sort of the soul. You do it through the hard way of dealing with things. But it makes you wiser. I'm not saying go through all the pains and feel everything to such a level where it's, crippling you in any way. But I feel like your sorrow somehow is the thing that shifts you into big manifestation. That's how you get to the other side, because you have to release something and able to let the new energy through, which is where you might be suffering a little bit here. And where it's not quite balanced, but you are someone who has big manifestation powers. Like, you know how to make big changes. So I was just reading what there. I hope that was, yeah, long term with the PhD, 5 years. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I definitely feel because a lot of the cards were very emotional. Yep, definitely feel lots of people triggered by you for sure. Yep, isolation, heartbroken, but gaining strength. Yeah, like I said, I feel like you are somebody that is, sorry, I'm just trying to read through the cards there. Thank you again, Devansha, for sure. But yeah, I definitely feel like you a lot, absolutely, because there's just so many cards of big, big emotional changes. Yeah, I do feel like you are a helper. Let's just see what the advice would be. Okay, what is the advice for Devansha? What is the advice for Devansha to deal with all of these big transformations that she's able to make? What would her advice be for others? What is her advice for others? What is her advice? The Fool? What is the advice with the Two of Swords? Okay, still some emotional pain is kind of showing up there, but I mean, even with the Fool card, it's almost like keep doing it. Like, because despite whether or not people recognize what we're doing, sometimes you are making a difference whether people actually know it or not. So it just feels like the because to me the Fool is that energy of you're willing to start new. Sorry, 1 second here, I have to drink the coffee. Okay, so the Fool card, like I said, it's still encouraging you to, kind of listen to your inner feelings, but don't be afraid to keep going forward, because whatever difference that you're making in other people's lives, whether they see it right in the moment or whether you see it or don't see it, it's still making a difference. And especially too with the Two of Swords, I still feel like you might not see again that progress that's happening, but I still feel like overall it's a decision that they have to make. So they might be able to see where you're going with what it is that you're saying, but it still feels like you can't push them beyond their own set of beliefs. You can't push them beyond their own boundaries because they're not ready to assimilate what needs to happen there. So they might understand on some level what it is that you're trying to do or say, but it's still there was something I heard the other day that was because you're causing tension by sort of showing people another way or helping in some way, because sometimes people, even when we help them, they still, some people, even if they don't understand or see where it is or what could be done better, they still don't want to be helped because they want to figure it out for themselves. It's just that kind of energy. But I still feel overall you do make an impact, but you're also allowing people to see you as a resource, which is good. So even if you try to help and they resist the help right at that time, you're also saying, I can be a resource, and you've opened the door, and they may still come forward at a later time when things are ready. But I definitely feel like, they may not be ready to make the decision because, again, you can only understand so long as your belief system is willing to allow you to understand. So if your belief system says all people are bad or the world is bad or the government is bad, which I still feel they are, but anyway, in a lot of ways, because I just feel like there's a lot of manipulation and stuff with politics, but that's my own thoughts and theories, whatever. But my point is everybody has an agenda, and people choose an agenda based on their beliefs and their value system. So whatever that agenda is at that moment, that is how the rest of their immediate surroundings or environment or actions will be influenced. So if you come in with a shining guiding light and a map saying, here, follow this, other people aren't going to be willing to take that map if they are still in that trajectory of, I can only be successful if I have, a job of this amount of pay, or if I have, you know, this number of friends, or if I have, I drive this kind of car. So until they accomplish that one thing or those 8 things or whatever it is, your advice will not be, it'll fall on deaf ears because they are still trying to commit to the 1 or 2 things that is in line with their current belief system. I don't know if that was a good example, but that's, I was trying to explain it there. But I do feel like overall, you know, still continue to trust yourself, because that energy there is still about choosing a new path. And it definitely feels like, again, there's something here emotionally. This is still a bit of a letdown, but you know, the advice of a lot of these cards is still continue to make your own choices. Trust that you're making the right decisions. It's a timing issue for people to take your advice or follow a course of action. It's a timing issue. So it's not that they're not hearing you, but again, it has to be in line with their belief system and their values before they're able to hear it. So I would just say at this point, still continue to do what you do, because you're still allowing people to see you as a resource, but don't dwell on it. Focus on your present set of circumstances and keep moving forward. You can't be in control of other people's negative emotions or willingness to, or lack of willingness to release negative emotions or release their current path. They're seeing it a certain way, and for you, don't wallow in it. Just know that you become a resource, and when they want to listen, they will. So now when we're into the Seven of Swords energy, the Seven of Swords, of course, can be about lying, cheating, stealing, all of that. But it's also, because my question was, you know, what is Seven of Swords as advice? And to me, I feel like this is still in that strategizing kind of energy. So this is still about encouraging you to still go forward, just be cautious, you know, stay away from the manipulative individual and trust your instincts, because you're still on the right path. You know, you're going to defend your beliefs and your, you know, your mindset just as someone else will. So, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you just know that you're resilient. Gone through an awful lot, so you're resilient. Sorry, my cat's crossing the, beat it. Okay. So yeah, so I would just say, again, as a positive with the Seven of Swords, you know, you do have, it's a card of advantage, but again, don't allow others to take advantage of you as well in that same light, because this is, everybody has that agenda. So just know when to throw out the boundaries and say, okay, if you're stuck, I'll offer you advice. If you don't want to hear my advice, that's fine too. But, you know, you'll have to work on whatever the conflict is. But again, I still feel like whatever it is here, it just feels like you do deal with a lot emotionally and a lot of uncertainty and a lot of feeling powerless and that kind of thing. But just know that it's mostly because other people feel those same emotions, whether they show that to you or not. It's manifesting in another way. It's like narcissists, for example. Narcissists, they always talk about as very big in the media stuff right now, but narcissists are people that usually have had a lot of hardships and negative things happening in their life, and so they overcompensate. They're, you know, so you can try to help them by, you know, bringing them the bread or bringing an object or driving them somewhere, but they won't really appreciate it necessarily, because then you put them in a position of owing you. So there's something there around, you wait until someone has a need, and if they didn't appreciate it the first time, then doing it a second and a third and a fourth time isn't usually going to be to your credit. It means you're just kind of wasting your time and energy. Put it into yourself. When they are in a bad enough space, you know, then they may come forward and say, look, I'm in a confusing spot. And then you can, at that point, then you can say, well, you know, here's a couple of options, take it or leave it. You know, when you leave it on the table for someone to take it or leave it, then it's a lot easier for someone to say, well, I chose it, versus you guided me. Nobody usually likes to hear that. People usually want to hear, oh, I found it for myself. But all you did was you just presented it in a certain light, and then, you know, they were able to make use of that, especially with, I think that's very strongly, they like to be able to take control and be in control of a situation. So I don't know if that helped you at all. You are resilient. Hi, Shantini. Yes, I'm doing well. Question for your sister. Okay, will she get married? Time frames are really hard, Caro, and I say that because not only are you dealing with the time frame of the person, you're also dealing with the time frame of the other person or the other environment that they're in, and there's too much going on there for I think it to really, indicate a specific time frame. I mean, I'll sort of try and see what comes out, but I don't really trust the time frame so much because it's when it's dealing with one person, that's one thing, but when you're dealing with two or more factors, I think then it makes it a little bit more convoluted. So let's see here. When will there be a marriage for Shandini's sister? When will there be a marriage for Shandini's sister? I don't know if this is a water sign, but it did kind of pop out there, but I'm not going to take it, but water sign did show up here. Okay, when will there be a marriage? When will there be for Shandini's sister? Okay, well, there's the long-term commitment card for sure. What is the Hierophant? When is that marriage taking place? When is that marriage taking place for Shandini's sister? Okay, well, I have the Justice card as well. When will there be marriage? Okay, Seven of Wands is coming out here as well. So I definitely feel like it's coming in pretty quick, actually. I mean, again, the time frames kind of can be a little bit ambiguous there because, as I said, I mean, Seven of Wands is usually an indicator that it's coming in pretty fast. I would still say that it could be somewhere in around a period of fall of next year, maybe something like that. But say probably fall. Last question, Devancha, you say, what kind of guy am I going to marry? And chances of getting married. Okay. Let's see here. What do we got? What have we got? Will Devancha get married? Will Devancha get married? Whoops. Okay, well, I'm just going to say I saw Seven of Pentacles, Eight of Wands at the bottom. So I do feel like that's a positive, but it's kind of a mix of planting the seeds. But wait, something will come in faster, I think, than expect. But let's see. When will Devancha get married? Or will she get married? Will Devancha get married? Will Devancha get married? I see disappointment around a water sign, but let's see. Will Devancha get married? Will Devancha get married? Okay, there's a Page of Wands. What is the Page of Wands? Who's the Page of Wands? There's a new start with someone who's a Page of Wands, and the Two of Cups is coming in. I feel like this is probably the person, really. But the Page of Wands does feel like hard to say if this is somebody that you know or not, because the Page of Wands is really that person that shows up as a younger person for me, for sure. It does feel like someone who is very romantic, somebody who's exciting. And especially with the Ace of Wands and all of that, it feels very strongly emotional. I feel like this is someone that you really share a lot of common interests with. There's a lot that you have in common with this person, like I said, and it definitely feels like a really strong connection, especially with the Two of Cups. It just feels like it's a really strong connection. And Wands usually means something is coming in pretty quick. So it feels like you're planting the seeds. Something you're doing is still a bit of a wait. It's like you're creating a foundation for it. But I feel like this person will complete you, and I do feel like you will get married. There's a lot of emotional balance here with this person, and there's even a friendship with it as well. I just feel like this is, you're planting the seeds. There's something, still a little bit of a wait, because the Seven of Pentacles, like I said, is still in around that energy of Taurus, May kind of period. So this might be relevant, might be a person who is born in that period. But I definitely feel like this is someone that you're really going to have, like you've got a friendship with. You might already know this person, but it's a strong connection. You have a lot of things. I feel like it's a really strong partnership and really cooperative. You really understand each other. Really strong attraction. And I do feel like there's just a lot there that kind of speaks to soulmate kind of energy. And again, it's just really positive energy. And I do feel like that is still coming in pretty soon. This person is, there's going to be some kind of communication or something in this next bit. I don't know that you will know that this is, the person, but I feel like you'll kindred spirit, like you really understand this person, that really good friendship. There's a really good connection there, whoever this is. Because the Ace of Wands, again, is, where things start to, you're thinking, like a new relationship or new, so again, it could be a new relationship that could be coming in here, but what you'll know, because it's going to have very strong chemistry and there's really strong friendship, and there's just going to be a lot. It's going to be immediate. Whatever this connection with this person is, the person that you marry is going to be very, very spiritually connected. Like there's going to be a real understanding of each other with this connection. And I feel like that's coming in fairly soon. Again, the communication doesn't necessarily mean, but it's almost like it could be strong, immediate friendship or connection with this person, but it feels like it's kind of immediate. That one is for yours, Devansha. Yep, just about meeting the person. Seems like it's coming in immediate and a strong friendship. I don't know, there's a communication quick, although there's still something about the relationship part that will be a little bit further out because you're going to have to wait. But the immediate call or connection, and you're going to know who this is because there's an immediate attraction, immediate friendship, real immediate understanding of, each other. So whoever that is, that's coming in pretty quick. I'm not saying it's immediate love affair and the marriage happens right away, but whoever the connection is that comes in this next really short while, I feel like you're going to know it immediately. Because like I said, I mean, it was Ace of Wands. Wands are all about, pretty quick, uh, like momentum or action. So it's almost like there's communication or something that comes in almost immediately. I would still say that there's a disappointment with the water sign. So I don't know, there might be a water sign that here. I don't think it's them. This seems like somebody who's a lot more carefree, younger energy, happier. And again, you're going to know because you're going to immediately connect with this person. And again, it's because there's such a strong ship with this person, it could very well be a new person because of the ace, but it's not 100%. But I know that when you know this person, you're going to know it immediately because everything lines up. There's a strong friendship, there's strong attraction, strong connection. They get you, you get them. It's very poetic. Okay, so my power on my phone is almost dead, so I'm going to have to go here pretty quick. But hopefully that gave you guys a little bit of insight into your events and the coming month here for October. Keep moving forward. Never give up. And until next time. Sorry, I'm dropping cards as per usual. All right. So I will try to do a few other reads here maybe today, but I have some things to do. But keep moving forward. And until next read.